Welcome guys to the Daily Drift. Today I'm going to show you guys how to build a workbench. I'm sure you guys have a garage and you probably have parts and you never have anywhere to put them. Or you're working on the ground, it's a pain in the ass. Well, guess what? I'm going to show you how to make one of these for fairly cheap. The only thing that you're going to need to do this is some sort of saw, a measuring tape, a drill, and some 10 by 2.5 screws. It's a very simple build. It's very easy to do. The materials are about $130. The only out-of-pocket cost, like one-time cost, would be if you don't have a saw or a drill or any of those things. Those are tools you need to get this job done. I'll post in the description a link where you can get some of these tools. Amazon usually has some great deals, so look into that potentially. Yeah, so let's get started. So ideally you'd want to measure and make sure it's 100% with the tape measure and everything. But what we're doing, we're going to take this, we're just going to feel it, make sure it's nice and flush, and then we're going to come over here and we're just going to mark it right along that line where it was, and then we'll make a cut, and that should be pretty good. So what we're going to do is, I've got this lined up, we're going to start making some cuts, and we're going to do the long boards first. So the first cuts that we need are the 2x6, and we're going to cut them to 8-foot sections, and then we'll go from there. I need 4 that are 8 feet, and then we'll do the next cuts after that. Pretty damn good, I'd say. It's basically flush. It might be a little bit off, but I can sand that down. So sweet, let's do the next one. You know, you'd almost think that I'd done this before somewhere. It's funny that, it's amazing what experience will do for you. I think those are some pretty damn good cuts if I do say so myself. Okay guys, so the guys at Home Depot kind of screwed up the cut. You probably saw that earlier. So the boards are not exactly 24 inches. It's like 24 1/8 and then 24, like just under 24. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna assume that they're both 24, but it might be slightly off. And that's okay. If I need to sand down a little, I can. If I can't add wood, so I'd rather cut them just a little bit bigger than I need, just to be safe. So what we're gonna do is, it's 3 1/8 for the 2 pieces that are together, the long 8-foot ones we just cut. So what we need is for the middle board that's gonna go in between is gonna be 20 inches and 7/8, so 20 and 7/8. And then that should put us to where when we squish them all together, it'll equal 24 inches. So give or take, we might be off by like 1/8 of an inch either way, but it's gonna be close enough to where if we really need to, we can just sand it down and make it fit properly. But yeah, we'd rather make sure that we're close, and if we need to, we can always cut more off. That's easy. So let's do that. All right guys, so now we're just gonna take this board, we're gonna mark it, measure 20 and 7/8. Sounds like Austin just got home. All right, okay, let's go cut it. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this piece, since it's cut perfectly the way that we want it, as a guide. And I'm gonna use that to cut the other piece of the wood, and it should make it a lot easier to do. So that's what we're gonna do. Alright, so let's keep this thing rolling. Now that we know what we're doing. So you guys want to see how you know you're a real car guy and you're not a carpenter by trade? When you use an automotive jack to level your cutting playing field. Or whatever the hell that's called, I don't even know. Okay guys, so now what we're doing, measuring out, these are going to be the legs. So we need to make sure that we know how tall we want our bench to be. The bench that fits me the best is going to be at 3 feet. It's nice and easy, it's a good height. And if I ever decide to put casters on this, like wheels, so that way I can move it around and stuff, it'll only bring it up a couple inches, so it'll still be doable. But if I was to make this too tall, then if I go to put wheels on it, it's gonna be like, it'd just be weird. So I'd rather have it be a little bit shorter than what I need, so if I decide to put wheels on it, I can. I'm not planning on it, but at least I'll have that option. So anyway, so we're gonna measure these all to 3 feet and cut them all up. So let's get to it. So here's a little trick I want to show you. So once you have the one board cut the way that you want it, just get the end piece, make sure it's flush. Okay, so once you get this on nice and flush, you just make sure the ends are flush. Get this where you want it, and then what you gotta do is go till the blade lines up. If you have a clamp, use that, it'll make it way easier. I don't have a clamp, so I'm just gonna do that, and then I'm gonna push. Now that it's close, it's touching, I know it's good. We're just gonna go like that and we're gonna zip it. Hell yeah. Damn close. And the little bit that it might be off, we can sand to make them even. So that's super, super awesome. Here's a better angle. Hopefully this will give you an idea of what we're doing. There we go. Okay. Hit it. Bam, look at that. Beautiful. Dead even. Exactly what we wanted. Not bad. Okay, if you guys did it correctly, it's gonna look something like this. You notice the edge is fairly straight. You want these legs as level as possible. So these are fairly even, so this way the table won't be all wobbly. And they're close enough that if we have to, we can sand some off just to make it level. But these are close enough, these should be good. So you want it to look like this. If you have to, you can take it and like sand off just a little bit of the edge. But like these are smooth. I'm just gonna take maybe a little sandpaper just to get rid of any roughness. Other than that, should be good to go. Okay guys, let's go over this one more time. So basically what we got here is, these are the 3 foot legs. We've got a total of 8 of them. These are 20 7/8. We've got a total of 8 of them. And then these are 8 feet long. All these are cut from 2x6, but these are 8 feet long. I just cut them to hit the size of the plywood, and they are, there's 4 of them. So now we're gonna get into the assembly, which is pretty straightforward. So putting these things together is a pretty simple process. All we gotta do is we're gonna take our screwdriver, or our drill. We got some deck screws. These are 10 by 2.5, and basically what they are is they've got a slot in them, so they're made to like basically self-drill. So supposedly you don't have to pre-drill the holes. We'll see, we'll put it to the test, but I would suggest pre-drilling just in case. These say that you can do it with no pre-drilling, so let's put them to the test and see if these guys can really do that. The Deck Plus, lifetime guarantee. So let's see what we can get. Okay, so this is the basic frame that we're gonna do, and we're gonna drill all the holes. So we got the small pieces in here. These are 20 by 7/8. We've got 4 of them for the main frame, right? This is gonna be like the tabletop, and it's also gonna be on the bottom. We'll do the legs next, but first we'll get this framed up real good. If you have a framing clamp or anything to hold these things together, that would be ideal. I don't have any of that, so we're gonna do this on a budget. So, yeah. All right, so let's get some screws. Let's start screwing these puppies in. Well, let's put this stuff to the test, shall we? There's one in. Let's go to 32. Essentially 32. 32. That looks pretty even, I would say. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna roll it. Roll with it. So just make sure that it's even on both ends. So when we do this, we'll get this side first. Line these up flush. We'll go from there. Alright, so there's your basic frame. That's strong. Now we gotta secure the legs. Now this part I might be going a little overboard, but that's okay. That's what I'm gonna do. So I'm putting these 2 pieces together. So you wanna make sure that they're as even as possible, that you don't have too much excess on either end. So you want them to be pretty straight. Also, I'm not gonna drill any screws up in these corners because that's where the boards are gonna mount. So I'm just drilling mainly in the center to hold these 2 together. So we're gonna drill through on this side, then we're gonna drill through on the other side just to make sure that it sticks. So we're just gonna drill a couple screws just to hold this thing together. Okay, flip it. Same thing on this side. Okay, there's one leg. Alright. Okay, so there's the 4 legs. So now we just need to make sure they're completely even. Well, now we got these things all nice and smoothed out, nice and level. All I did was take a radial sander to them to make sure they're all even. So they're all standing up really nice and level. If I need to do any more, I can just basically go to the bottom of it and shave it down, but other than that, it looks good. So yeah, so now we're gonna go and attach these to the bottom of the frame, and then we'll build the second frame and put the boards on, and we should be good. Yeah, I just looked insane. Okay guys, so now we finally got this set up. Got our table right there. And then we got the second frame down here. So now what we gotta do is we're gonna take this and we're gonna put all this stuff and put it together. So we're gonna put the bottom frame down on the ground. And then we're gonna take the top table, put it on top, bolt that thing up, and then we're gonna work on getting our tops. Now I can't finish doing the bottom piece, the top that goes on the plywood, because it's too late. It's like 1:30 in the morning and my neighbors will kill me. So I have to do that in the morning. But we'll get everything else done tonight, so let's do it. All right, let's do this. The fun part. Mother of God. It's like fitting a puzzle piece together. It's gonna be very tight. There we go. Cool. Okay, so what's gonna be a challenge here is that these don't all, I'm gonna have to pull this and do a corner and then drill and be very careful as I do it. And yeah, so we'll just kind of go from there. Whew. There's one. So here you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. There's this little gap. It's not quite 100% even. That's okay. We're gonna make it work. Just because the wood's a little bit out of square. But we will make this happen. See if we can get it. There we go. One. Here's this side. See if we can get this. Sometimes the trick is just, yeah. Boom. Get this started at least. Boom. Well guys, this is about all I'm gonna get done tonight. It's about 2:30 maybe in the evening. And we're about to have to call this the Midnight Garage or something because I am always up super late working on this stuff. But this is the basic frame. So this is what we're gonna get done tonight, and I'll finish the rest tomorrow in the morning, which we'll see in about 2, like that. So now what we gotta do is we're gonna check to make sure this is level, figure out which side is the best side to put the tops on if I wanna flip it, or how I want to do it. So cool thing is I don't have a level because somebody's borrowing it, and but I found out the iPhone actually you can get a free app to do it, so I'm gonna use that and we'll test it out. So this is the app. It's called Bubble Level. It's completely free, so it's got like this little thing. When I go to set it on here, so let's see, it beeps at you that it's level. That's pretty good, so we'll check it here. It's not beeping, but you can see it's actually like really good. Come here. Perfect. Good. Good. All right. Really good. So if you do this right, it'll actually be really level. So now we know that it's level. As far as like the framing and everything, it's nice and level. It's not off center or nothing. So what we need to do now is we're gonna sand down these tops so that way it's completely level. So if you look here, you can see this piece, for whatever reason, was a little bit taller, so I'm going to sand this down to where it's completely flush. And I'm going to find any point where it's not flush, and I'm just going to sand it down, get it nice and even. Like this one's actually really good. And then we're just going to do that for all of them. So let's do it. Okay, so I finished getting all the stuff done. You can see it's nice and smooth. I sanded all the edges, made them all nice and easy, nice and smooth. I can rub my hand on this, no splinters, which is exactly what we want. Beautiful, nice and level. So now we get to go and, wow, my glasses are just covered in dust. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go and we're gonna take the tops and we're gonna put the tops on. and we'll do the bottom. Let's get the tops on and just see how long that takes us, okay? Okay, this is good. Okay. We'll start on one end and work our way back. Oh, hurt. Oh. Ah. Screw star bits, dude, like seriously? Screw star bits. Oh my god, that hurts. Okay, so now we got this measured out. For me, it was a little bit over 4 3/4 and then 7 1/4 this way. It's just basically we're gonna cut out those little squares so that way they'll fit around here. So let's go get to cutting. Now, I would not suggest using a sawzall on this, but I have no other choice. So I'm just gonna be very careful to try not to screw up this cut, or these cuts. Now we just gotta sand down these edges. Shouldn't be too bad. Boom. See how it's. You know, it's almost like I designed it this way. Kind of fun. Boom. Look at that. Hell yeah. That fits pretty darn good if I don't say so myself. Take a look at that. Works pretty good. Fit in there perfectly. That's why I kept this gap here, so this way it would be easy to slide it in. It almost fit perfectly. And then now we just gotta screw it down. It should be good. Well guys, here we are. We finally finished it. It only took us like, gosh, I don't know, forever. So we got this thing built. It looks really good. All in all, it was pretty cheap. Cost about 130 bucks for all the wood. The most expensive part is just the saw, obviously, some screws, and then the drill. I mean, it's not too bad. Other than that, I like the way it turned out. This thing is very strong. I mean, look, I get up on here, like I'm sitting on it. Like, this thing is very, very strong, very durable. This thing is very stable. Like, I'll show you. Like, it's very, it's tough, it's level. It's just about everything you could want in a workbench. So I'm very happy. 130 bucks. Took a lot of work to do. You know, I did this over a weekend, so you know, it's not too bad. If you've got like a day or something, you could probably get it done in a day. If you want to, you could stain it. I'm undecided if I decide to stain it or lacquer it or anything. It just depends, because we're gonna have like oil and parts like that getting on it, so I might try to protect it, but for right now, this is all we're gonna do. If you guys like this, smash that like button. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing. We're always putting out some crazy content. We don't always build benches. This is just kind of a one-time project. But we always have something going on here. The next big thing is going to be taking our V8 swapped RX-7, pulling the engine out, and start tearing that thing down, because, well, you can see if you click up at the link, oh, I think it's up here, I don't remember. I'll put a link to it. At our last drift event, the oil pan just completely, like the seal's all blue. So now we gotta go and fix it. So that's what we're gonna be doing next. as well as we do stuff with the Duramax and the Miata. So there's a lot of reasons to subscribe. So if you are interested, hit us up with a sub and we'll see you in the next one. And remember, keep drifting fun.